Dana-Farber embraces the concept of total patient care, pioneered by founder Dr. Sidney Farber to, in his words, deliver compassionate care that addresses the full range of physical, emotional, and spiritual needs that our patients face. Access to extraordinary care is a priority of the Dana-Farber campaign, and that's where Dana-Farber's patient navigators come in. This group of caring, trained professionals work with patients from underserved communities to navigate the complexities of their cancer treatment. Because making progress in defying cancer is meaningful only if everyone is included and no community is left behind. Meet Magnolia Contreras, who drives the Patient Navigator program, Ludmila Svoboda, who advocates every day to get the best care for her patients, and Mary London, a kidney cancer survivor treated in the Patient Navigator program.
Access to care has been difficult for all populations, particularly for vulnerable populations and those from low socioeconomic status. We just haven't had access to the care because of financial reasons, because some of the cancer care centers are not accessible to us, so literally transportation to get there, because they haven't felt welcoming, because we don't see people who look like us inside those institutions.
I see so many patients that are afraid to enter a medical system, right? That have experienced structural racism or that are just trying to survive.
When I was diagnosed with cancer, I went through a time when I couldn't explain to anyone how I felt.
The Patient Navigator program is creating a new model for access to care for everyone.
One of the first things that we do in patient navigation is education. We want to make sure that the patient understands what their cancer is, what the cancer treatment course is, and really focus on education in that particular initial phase while we develop a trusting relationship with that patient. Because if the patient understands what is happening with them, what the diagnosis is, and has a relationship with someone that they can trust, we're off into the races with a good foundation. We talk to their families so that the families can understand what is going to happen in their family, how the patient is going to go through the treatment experience, and some of the challenges that they might face, and also know that there are supports.
I moved from New York because I was very ill. The doctors found a mass in my kidneys. They were monitoring it for a while, maybe a couple months. I lost my job because I was sick so much. I was in depression and I didn't tell anyone what was happening. Where I was living homeless, I thought I needed better for myself, and I called my family in Boston and I came.
Language can be a significant barrier to accessing care. Dana-Farber navigators and interpreters bridge that gap to reach more patients.
I'm really lucky that I speak 5 languages. I work in the navigation in the cancer care equity program where so many of our patients do not speak English. So if I could speak to a patient in French, if they're from Haiti, or even throw in some basic Haitian Creole, it breaks the ice and it goes a long way for the patient.
When I met Ludmila, I felt hopeful, and by her navigating, making all the phone calls and the contacting and everybody, and making sure that I got the right help that I needed, and understanding what I was going through. That bring it home to me, because I know I meet somebody who understands. I don't have to say much. She cares, they understand, people understand, somebody understands.
Certainly, cancer diagnosis changes the course of your life. I think I landed here because I understood that cancer is a life-altering diagnosis, and that I went through it with a lot of supports. And I knew that my colleagues and friends who live in low socioeconomic neighborhoods and communities have a different course.
We have embedded ourselves within primary care health centers, and we have really shown that we are there and we are there to stay. That a patient comes and sees us in their primary care setting builds an immediate level of trust. While the patient is with me, I will do everything within my power to make sure that they have the same access to cancer care that everybody deserves.
I am doing great. I am doing great. I'm happy and I'm blessed to be alive. I'm grateful, I'm thankful to be alive. After many years of taking care of the elderly, I went on to become a certified CNA, and I just got a job at the Brigham and Women Faulkner Hospital. It's everything new for me, everything new.
Fighting cancer is enough. And so what we want to be able to do is to make sure that the patient can be focused on their own care and in themselves, and not being so distracted by some of the external pressures that come to them. We can try to address those during their treatment course.
Throughout the years, Dana-Farber has successfully delivered excellent care to vulnerable communities. Now, we need to expand this care to everyone who needs it.
We need to be in more communities. We need to have more outreach clinics. We need to level the playing field. This excellent care that we have here at Dana-Farber, that we make it available and accessible to the most vulnerable among us.
Life is important, and we gotta treat our life as special. You have to push yourself to go and get that help that you need. And you will get the help at Dana-Farber. You will get the help because people are so loving and so nice, and so they listen carefully.
A critical part of extraordinary care is our focus on expanding access to care, which is a key funding priority of the Dana-Farber campaign. Several major philanthropic gifts in the past year alone have set the foundation for the expansion of our Patient Navigator program. Our goal is to have a specially trained patient navigator for each treatment center within Dana-Farber.